I just got finished watching Backrooms about a couple hours ago. Let it sit with me for a few hours, and honestly, this was a very interesting movie. Now I'm gonna split this review up into two parts. One is a spoiler review, and one is a non-spoiler. Non-spoiler will be right now. Spoiler will be soon, and I will make sure it really delves into the depths. Right now, though, let's go with the regular review. No spoilers here. Now, if you're a casual viewer, just a person who goes to the theaters like every now and then, like, okay, let's go watch a new movie, I wouldn't recommend The Backrooms. Now, I don't mean this in a bad way. This is a great movie. This is I would probably say one of the horror movies of the year. And especially knowing that Kane Parsons was 20 years old to make this, it's impressive as fuck. But we also have to keep in mind the casual viewer does not know what The Backrooms is. This person probably going into the movie thinking, oh, okay, this guy needs therapy. He goes into yellow room. He get lost. That's the basic plot of it, right? But there's so much lore that they don't really indulge you in, and it's kind of a guessing game, where I don't see the casual audience kind of enjoying this. Now, if you've watched the Backrooms in the YouTube series or watched any theories or just anything Backrooms related, 100% check out the movie. I know I'm probably saying this like 2 weeks after the movie came out, but this is one of those movies where you see the story behind it before you go in, and you're gonna enjoy it. To my experience, the best way I can word it, this feels like watching Freddy Fazbear in Five Nights at Freddy's, like the first time seeing Freddy Fazbear on the screen. It's just seeing something that you grew up with or you like indulged yourself with on the big screen. It's just this really weird and enjoyable feeling. I don't know, something about it. I personally loved it because I was a big Backrooms fanboy. I would obsess over it, like the lore, the rooms. I was all over it at the time. And to finally see it on the big screen, seeing all the yellowness and just the vividness of it, it felt eerie, felt fun, and just this really nice thing to look at. Now, if we're talking about like what I really liked in the movie did this really good. The cinematography, amazing, amazing cinematography. You really feel inside the world. You feel like you're part of what's going on, and it's really well done. Like the cinematography. What's Jeremy Cox? I don't know how old he is, but this guy has done his research about the Backrooms. He's 100% friends with Kane Parsons because the way that they mesh their work together is so well done that it all just comes out as this beautiful, scary, but eerie masterpiece. And honestly, just hats off to the cinematographers. Also, we gotta tackle the acting. I would say Chutia Ejiofor, if I'm pronouncing that right, carries the movie. The character of the therapist, I think that's Mary. I don't know the actress, but she was a bit underutilized. I would say they had a story for her, but maybe they cut some of it out because you could feel one storyline being there, but it's just too little to really be invested. But Chutia Ejiofor's entire storyline from start to end really feels realistic, and I can kind of see a man having to go through these troubles and to into this like mental psychosis. And towards the end, his acting is phenomenal with how he is with his therapist. Not going to go into spoilers yet. Let's talk also about the score. I remember in the start of the movie, like right when it starts, you can hear the score. And what I like about Kane Parsons, he has this really eerie score, which you just can hear in the background, but it's so faint that you don't fully notice it. But when you're like really locked in fully into the world, you can always hear those little notes of music as well. And to know he also did the music with someone else on this movie, honestly insane. Came out of the movie, immediately pulled up Spotify, had to listen to the score because that score was ethereal. That's the best way to word it, ethereal. And what else do we have here? And I think the fear, like the horror factor of the movie, I'm gonna be honest with you, if you're a casual person or you're just going for the movie for horror, you're not gonna like it, because this movie doesn't scare you. Now it does definitely scare. Don't get me wrong, but it scares you from the thought of what is behind, what is trying to hurt them, who is the monster, and that fear consumes you, and that's what makes the movie scary. I remember watching Iron Lung and imagining the same thing. It's just the sound effects and the way they move the movie, like the way the pacing is done. You know it's right around the corner, and you know it's about to happen. You just don't know when. And then when it does happen, it's a really good payoff. You kind of just like you can't breathe and you're just invested. But if you're going straight for the horror, not recommending it. Go for Obsession, because Obsession has way better horror. And I mean, the only gripe I have about this movie was it was too short. I remember when I first heard about the runtime being an hour and 50, I was both happy and sad. Happy because I know longer movies nowadays sometimes stretch too long, and then you're just like, this shit's getting boring. Get this shit rid of, right? But when it's too short, you kind of feel like you had an empty, like you just got fed a good meal, but then they just take it away from you. That's what I felt with the Backrooms. Like, they had so much going, and towards the end, you were invested fully, but then it's all over. It's just they don't really let you take the ending in properly. They just end it, and 100% getting a sequel. Gonna watch the sequel as well, but I feel like it's a bit of a shitty ending. If you're gonna end it, at least make it a better note, not just that. But overall, if I'm reviewing it as me and not a critic, this movie was a straight 8 out of 10. But if we're reviewing as a critic, on the critic board, I'm gonna give it a 2.9 out of not even 2.9. Hold on, a 4.3 out of 10. That's the most you're getting out of me. But overall, Backrooms is definitely a movie you want to watch. If you have time, check it out and let me know what you think. Anyways, this is the regular review part now done. Spoilers coming in. Get ready. I'm gonna first read off what I immediately started writing after the movie. Right. So first thing I said, the first 5 minutes of the movie. Okay, let me talk about this. The first 5 minutes of the movie was magical, because you're thrown in right in there, bro. You're in the hazmat suit. You see the VHS tape, like the VHS recording, and you can hear the monster. And I'm pretty sure for like a brief frame, you can even see the pirate, which is really sick. Cause I caught like a glimpse of it. I didn't see, like, I wasn't like fully confirmed, but I was like, by the interval time, I was like, oh wait, what if that's him? Like, what if he's the one who's the monster? And I was like, maybe not. I don't know. So first of all, starting scene, spectacular. I actually love how they started by putting you right in the world, not like world building immediately, but just getting you to understand that this is the Backrooms. We're not going to be sitting in fucking real world and making the movie. I know it sounds stupid, but my expectations are always low. Now, also, let's move on to the character of what is it? Fuck, it's not Kate. Clark. Now, Clark's character is done so eerily. It's done so differently that I'm intrigued to know more. And this is where my complaint of the runtime comes in. Because I told you the runtime was too short. If the runtime was slightly longer, I would like a little bit more character building on Clark. I would like a little bit more Backrooms building. And just overall, the ending, like with Mary. If the ending with Mary was done a little bit better, straight 5 out of 5 movie for me. Because they just kind of fucked around with the runtime. Which is, I mean, I get it, but, you can always do better. Also, let's talk about the cinematography, because I briefly touched upon it in the non-spoiler free review, right? Spoilers on the cinematography. Oh my god, when the VHS happened the second time, not the first, the second time, I was mind blown, because it was done so, like, the cuts were abrupt, but it was just such a different viewing experience. Like, you'd never see VHS tapes in the big screen, right? So to see it like on the big screen, it hurt my eyes. It was a bit annoying. It's like it's all buzzy and everything. It's a bit annoying, but it just looks so magnificent. Like it's just wow. I used to watch this shit on YouTube, and now I'm seeing it on the big screen. Like it's just like something about it was just magnificent. And yeah, no, that was a great sequence. All that entire VHS sequence with the employees and how he dies, and then how Ejiofor's character just comes down, and then he has to like run around the area trying to figure out where his employees are. Amazing sequence. And then when the monster eventually picks up the camera, whoo, oh fuck no, bro. My soul left my body. I was like, oh, he's gone. Logit's dead, bro. And then up till there is where I think I had the most fun. I'm gonna be honest. The dinner table scene was not really super insane to me. Now, don't get me wrong. Amazing sequence. It was really gave us all like the story in just like that small pack, and it gives so much to explore in those like few minutes. It's crazy. Okay, first of all, I want to talk about the new concept that Kane has introduced. To what I understand, right, and to what the theories I've read, it's not exactly a duplicate of each person. Every single entity in the backrooms isn't hostile, but they're shaped by your memories and the trauma that you've had. For example, the first entity we see within the dinner table scene, we first see the guy in the wheelchair with the lamp. We see the fat guy who's just sitting, and then we see the guy, his wife, or his quote unquote wife, or whoever it was. Now, when we see these three, they're all distorted and fucked. They're not exactly the real thing, but they all are living, which is surprising to me, and it's living trauma, is what speaks to me, because we can decode the wife easily, right? She's who he hated but also loved, but it's just kind of a traumatic incident for him to keep, and it's just a part of the backrooms now. His trauma and him being there kind of created a subconscious. We also have the man in the wheelchair with the lamp. I'm assuming that is a person like a customer who came in, and it could even be a customer who came in frequently, but unfortunately had an accident, and maybe that's how he's in the wheelchair. It's a theory, it's a stretch, but it's what I think. And then we had the fat white guy. That, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I have one really stupid theory that I just thought about right now. Probably not that, but it's when when Clark is like sleeping in his bed at night, or like in the regular shop, right? He's taking a little nap. Like he's about to go to sleep, and there's like an advertisement of a different what do you call it? The different furniture store, and it's a white guy. A bit of a stretch, but could be him, right? The trauma of losing the customers and the money that he has. Now, the concept is very minimally scratched, and by the time they scratch it, we already move on to the big monster. Now, I have really varying opinions, because I'm gonna be dead ass with you guys. I unfortunately saw the monster way too early. I was doom scrolling 2 days before, like after the movie came out in the States, not here, in the States, and I saw the monster. It was very sad. I was not very pleased with seeing the monster, early. But when I saw it in the movie, I wasn't particularly intrigued. And I'm gonna be honest, if I didn't see the monster on Instagram, maybe I would have been a bit more interested. But even then, I'm just kind of like, well, what's the point of this? Because right now I've read theories that, oh, this is the original Clark, the other one is a fake one. I just don't think so. I feel like that's his biggest piece of trauma, maybe, or that's just what he creates from staying there for so long, because he's been there for weeks now. The guy is practically living there, and he even says he likes it there, and I believe the longer he stays, the more trauma that is in his head, and it starts affecting the environment around him, and it creates beings, and eventually his worst trauma, being the pirate, is created. It's the embodiment of him not being able to be an architect, and him just being stuck with the life of furniture. That's a theory, though. Definitely gonna have to dive a lot more deep into it. Anyways, the ending. So it's the worst part for me. I was really upset with the ending because that was way too abrupt. They had so much more to dive into, and I want to be honest. Let's both be honest here, right? What the fuck was that? Like what? We talked to the Dr. Phil, right? Dr. Phil, and then we're back in the Backrooms of the Entity version, and movie done. Like, I mean, I get that you have to sequel this, but at least, satisfactory end. Like, make it like, oh yeah, we need more researchers to deploy down there. We need to know more. Like, I know he said all that, but they gotta like make a better, like, more hype ending. That was just too abrupt. It didn't feel like an ending. It just kind of felt like there was more writing, but they just kind of like said, nah, we gotta put this for a second movie, bro. We need more movies out of this. But yeah, no, that's what I thought was a little bit annoying. Overall, though, great movie. With the spoilers aside, I'm definitely gonna be reading a lot more theories about this. If I find some good theories, I'm probably gonna make a video again. Anyways, that's about it for the Backrooms. Definitely check it out, and I'll see you guys later.